you? Huh? How tough are you? You know, men make a big deal about being macho and buff. Wish they had guns like these. How tough are you? How much can you put up with? How much can you endure, especially living in the end times? Well, let me read to you a scripture. After I drink my coffee for a second and dip my cookie. Oh. You know, these few moments every morning, it's like living the good life every day. It's a reminder of the good life. I gotta be careful not to get it on my shirt. I'm starting the book of Philippians, chapter 4, at verse 12. I know how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things, I have learned both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me. All things. So if I ask you how tough you are, maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe I'll be asking how tough is your God? And how tough our God is often depends on how deep is our faith. Those two things are bound together. I believe God for big things. And there's some things, quite frankly, I have a hard time comprehending. Let me give you an example. I could pray all day for the sick. I can pray for the resurrection of the dead. I can pray for miracles and signs and wonders. And God hears and sometimes even answers. But if you ask me to pray for money, I don't know why. That's just a hole and ending. But God has never left me forsaken or having to beg bread. That's his word. And that's what I really count on. But I think the measure of my faith is the measure of the strength I'm willing to let him exercise in my life. Think about it once again, the measure of my faith is the measure of the strength I'm willing to let him exercise in my life. That's a powerful statement, even if I have to say so myself. You see, oftentimes people say, well, I can handle that. Are you supposed to be handling it at all? Well, I can do this and I can get through that. Are you supposed to be handling it at all? That's the question. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do anything the Messiah wants me to do. I can walk on water. I can float in the air if that's what Yeshua wishes me to do. That's true. But I've got to have the faith to do it. I got to have the faith that he will do it. That was a mistake, wasn't it? So I have the faith so I can do it. No, I must have the faith that he will do it. And that's where the line is. Back to this idea, and this is a very man thing. Okay, I can suck it up. I can take the pain. No, we have every Shabbat morning a time for prayer for illness. Well, this is my confession. I'm a man, okay? My confession was kind of simple. There were times that, well, my back hurts, but it doesn't hurt that much. I have to have prayer. Or my knee hurts, but not so much. I'm going to ask for prayer. Why? Am I afraid to admit my back hurts or my knee hurts? Am I afraid I've got a headache or might be ill? I have to be willing to let God meet my needs. And every time I decide I'm going to tough it out and hold back, I'm not permitting the Lord to keep his promises to me. How sad. And it's even worse I think this is a common trait for all men. I look at the men in my congregation. I'm thinking, man, what are they not saying? Because they're so tough, so manly. I got news for you. Those who call upon the name of the Lord, they are manly. They are the manly. Okay? So how tough are you? Only as tough as the faith I actually hold. Now, I don't always understand why God does certain things or permits certain things, but I do know there are times I'm supposed to suck it up and go through as a building of my faith. But I never lose doubt in who he is or question his power or his authority. I don't understand his reasoning, but I trust. And that's why my faith can carry me through, why I can tough out anything. Because my faith is not in me. My faith is in him. In him. You have faith. He has answers. A friend of mine was reading her scriptures yesterday and also the commentary. She came across a line that just really struck her. And it's worth listening to. It says, the people of faith have no questions. Unbelievers have no answers. That's really true. But yes, I sometimes really do have questions. But unbelievers have no answer for my questions. We live in two different worlds. You have to realize that you are not them. I hate to sound like I'm trying to divide up humanity, but you are not them. You are of the household of God. You're of the household of faith. You belong to the body of Messiah. You're not the outside world. And the sooner we get that into our heads, the better off we are. Because when I have a need, I call upon the name of, let me ask you a question. You ever go to the doctor because you're ill or to the hospital? And do you wait till you're done with the doctor before you ask for prayer? Before you finally admit to the rest of the world you were ill? Smart guy, and this is where I am a smart guy. I am a smart guy. I've learned to pray first. And you want me to tell you what the advantage was? The Lord heard me and oftentimes touched my body. And in the process, he saved me some money. I didn't pay a doctor bill because by faith, I went to the doctor. Are you following me? Hopefully so. Time for a little bit more coffee. It's a good morning. Kind of cool, kind of chilly, a little overcast, but not in my heart. Ow. My heart, the S-O-N is shining. Thank you, Sheriff, for that coffee. And Jay Lee, Bob the Builder, for those cookies. It's wonderful. For the last few weeks, I've been telling you about, we have 3 buttons. We have a share button, and we have a like button, and we have a button for making a donation, which, by the way, that one has never been used. But nevertheless, let me tell you, the most important button on this page is the share button. Share. You see, when you share, you're exercising faith that God will reach somebody of your choice with a message. So when you look at the page, there's a like button. Well, that's nice. Hit the like button. Warm fuzzies. Okay? Hit the share button and make a difference in the world around you. Like button, warm fuzzies. And I like being warm. But the share button tells me that there are partners in ministry who are promoting the gospel. So if you're going to hit any button at all, hit the share button. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if you hit the donate button, by the way. But the most important button on this page is share. Because when I do the share thing, I'm exercising my faith towards someone else. He who knows to do good and does it not, to him is sin. James chapter 4. When I know I have a friend who could use this message, I need to send it to them. Because if I know they could use this message and I don't, well, that might be sin. So hit the share button on Facebook, YouTube, however, help become a partner. Now, in all this morning, I want you to understand that God is all powerful. And you don't have to tough it out. He bore our iniquities. He carried our sorrows. He's done everything. And in that process, he is preparing you for the kingdom to come. Every time you struggle here, he's preparing you for the kingdom to come. I would be a little concerned if I didn't have some struggles. I'd wonder, what am I doing wrong? I'm not a threat to the world. I'm not a threat to the enemy. What am I doing wrong? I tell you, the measure of my faith is the measure of God's power. The limit I have in faith may, and I want to be careful, may limit how much he acts and responds. But after all, he is God. He can do whatever he wants. So, kind of like in the movie Frisco Kid. And the rabbi's sitting there with the Indians, and he goes, and God doesn't make rain. And God doesn't make rain. And all of a sudden, the thunder and a couple raindrops, and he goes, just like that, he could change his mind. Oh, what a great movie. Nevertheless. This evening, we're talking about those who are offended by God. And you don't think people are offended by God? Then you don't have your eyes open. You didn't read the Bible properly. Tune in tonight at 6 o'clock right here on Facebook and also on YouTube. And join us for Wake Up. And the subject is offending God or offended by God. How's that? Offended by God. So now, your local church, your parish, your synagogue, your group, whatever it's called, remember, you're to be a partner in ministry. Come alongside the pastor, preacher, teacher, leader, person, okay, if they be godly, and join them in building the kingdom, establishing the house or the place where God's name is lifted up. Well, I've talked all I need to this morning. I look forward to seeing you tonight, 6 o'clock. And if by chance you're in my 10 o'clock class, then you'll have the ability to join us. By the way, special announcement coming next week. Special announcement. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Been thinking about this for a little bit. But I'm going to let you go and ask you to take care. And I will see my morning group in study in about